is going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Let's get this music turned down. So it's been a while. A lot has happened. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, you know that the timeline is progressing. The project is continuing to make huge advancements, and I think it's time to go over some more notes. I mean, you guys deserve a tutorial. I've been dropping friggin' updates like there's no tomorrow, and why not open it up, let you guys see what I do with it and what I think you guys could do with it. What's up, Heather? Welcome to the show. We got B in the mix. We're going to interview B here pretty soon. We're going to get her case on the timeline too. What's up, Rich? As you guys know, I have finally become a YouTube partner. It has happened. It is a miracle. We are sitting here really doing it. Guys, without further ado, I'm going to play some, I guess, like a little video ad, something that's been popping up. Check this out.
The most well-documented cases in U.S. history took place at Socorro, New Mexico, April 24th, 1964, at 5 o'clock with a police officer that was on duty by the name of Lonnie Zamora. The best case in U.S. history. The best documented case. The first military officer to arrive on the scene got there, the bushes were still smoking. I mean, the imprints in the ground of the craft, the footprints, they got diagrams of this stuff.
Good stuff. Powerful stuff. These little ads are helping a lot. A lot of people get kind of used to the idea of what this thing is, and that's really cool. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Dude, without further ado, we're going to crack this timeline open. I'm kind of excited to show y'all. Again, if you've been following me on Twitter, then you know what we've been doing with the timeline. Right, you get it. So let's do it. All right, this looks like it's going to be working just fine. Okay, check it out. Let's go full screen on this bad boy. Starting soon can disappear because we have absolutely started this stream. Ladies and gentlemen, the UFO timeline in all of its glory. The project is making big leaps. Right up here, what we have now, I'll kind of walk you through it. So last time we talked, I didn't have a sponsor, but I'm proud to tell you today we have Danny Jones podcast as a sponsor, and we love it. So what you can see here is cases connected by a dotted line. Now, these are the favorites, and we'll get into that in just a second. The favorites are also displayed here on the globe, which is working great, might I add, except for this little thing. The favorites are, I think, one of the primary new features of the website now. Again, this is at the ufotimeline.com. You can just go there anytime and check out this. This is what it looks like right now to the public. We have recently entered the UAP hearing event. So this is from 2023 in July. You have all your photos here along with some great video breakdowns, one from yours truly of the event. These are like the whole thing. So if you wanted to go back and watch the UAP hearings from 23, you can. And you can see where it took place, what it's all about, and all that jazz. So all the events now on the timeline are in circle form until you open them or click on them. But if you hover over, you get a lot of information as well. So that's always great. The categories now have a similar look, but a kind of a different function. We went ahead and advanced it a little bit. So anytime you click on a case, so here, you'll see that the highlighted category follows the most recently selected case. And this is going to give users the ability to better and more quickly, I should say, figure out and orient themselves in the timeline. So that's a great feature, this little highlighted category thing, kind of lets you follow it. One of the best quality of life features, I think, added or finally fixed in this version is the press and hold to isolate a category. So over here, the categories, you can interact with them. And when I say interact, what you can essentially do is you can turn them off and you can turn them back on. And this helps, I think, with streamline your research, like whatever you're doing. But one thing I wanted to do was add an isolate feature. So if you actually click and hold, if you long press on a category, it will isolate the category. See? Boom. So now if all you want to do is see the military contact cases, you can just see it with literally the click of a button. And if you want to turn it off, just quick press, because if they're all off, it'll turn them all on. That's a feature we added too. So, and when I say we, I mean me and a computer. So the isolate feature, I love it. You start from one, you can keep building up your window, your purview, what you want to see when you want to see it. And of course, if you're not familiar with the timeline, these are all of the events that we have recorded in the timeline, categorized by these different subjects: abduction, interaction, high strangeness. The list goes on. There are other categories being built as we speak. And so, yeah, that's the ability to isolate. Click and hold a category, and boom, very quickly you can see only what you want, only what you need to see. If you zoom out, you can have, I think it's like 500 years. This is 500 years, this whole span. That's maximum zoom out. I don't know if we'll ever need more than that, but if so, then, we'll play with it. 500 years is quite a long time. Most of our knowledge of UFO history is probably going to span from the year 2000 all the way back to 1940, so around this era right here. And in fact, if you reload the page, there is a new window that kind of is available here. Not only if you reload the page will you see our sponsor, our awesome, beautiful sponsor, Danny Jones, but you'll see that the timeline opens up between 1940 and 1970. It's a much smaller window. Before, when the timeline was loading, it was literally all of this. And it felt empty. It did. So I decided to zoom in, bring it in from 1940 to 1970, and give people a little bit more easier on the eyes kind of opening to the website. All of these are cases that are perfectly clickable. You can open them up, do whatever you want, check them out. The ones that are white, these ones have what we call deep dive information. So all of the white ones are the ones that have videos attached to them. Okay. Photos attached to them, files attached to them. If there's attachments, if there's something there, then you'll be able to see it and you can find it there. Ideally, all of our cases will end up becoming, will have deep dive data. So this idea of highlighting them white will become redundant, but until we get there, this is definitely the approach that it's easier to kind of like to program and whatnot. This is another huge update while we're here. We have the availability now to embed YouTube links directly into the page. So if you wanted to watch, basically, what we're doing now is filling in every case with relevant, great documentaries that already exist. Case in point, we have Red Panda Koalas right here for the Colaris case. And you can
A majority of the
it.
time when people see a UFO, there's a pricked.
This is no small feat. The ability to watch videos of the subject right on here and kind of zone out while you're doing your more research is great. It's fantastic, and I love it. Another thing that we should talk about too is the toggles that are right up here. So these used to be in a different place, and if you're wondering why some of them are pink, let me kind of walk you through that. So every case has attributes to it. So this one, the attributes are kind of highlighted here, right? We got not only information here from the time to the craft behavior, CE scale, witnesses. We have a summary, right? The summary is great. Then you can vote on these if you want to. But what this provides, the toggles, I thought they could provide a readout too on what information the case has as well. So here, this is craft type and this is entity type. And now the toggles or categories that are highlighted by the case are highlighted pink here. So now we know, right, that the Cusack case of 67 included a sphere and a humanoid being. It's just easily, boom, right there. Now, what we can do, because these toggles still work, see if I press saucer, it still filters out only the saucers left. But right now, it's spheres. So spheres kind of collect the two. I'm just going to tap the button and see what happens. Change the color. Still has a pink outline, but it's blue here. And now we see all the cases with spheres. And this is helpful because we are on the Cusack case, and we're basically categorizing by attributes of the Cusack case. Humanoid, same thing. Boom. Well, now we know that there are essentially two cases so far in the timeline that have these similar attributes, sphere and humanoid. And real quick, we're going to pop that open. Cusack and Colaris. Kind of strange that Colaris is open on that one. So I love it, right? So that's what's going on here. So it's toggles and it's a readout. It honestly doesn't get cooler than that, in my opinion. It's just awesome. So turning these bad boys off is as easy as a click of a button. You end up getting all of your cases back. If you don't have a case selected, right, then there's no information there, and you can just go from scratch and start narrowing down your search. Saucers and grays are my favorite ones to get. It provides a lot of results right now. Eventually, as we add more and more cases, these buttons will be much more important, right? But for now, right, you can see these are the cases with grays and saucers. Now, one of the biggest things we've done very recently, and I think is the most important reason to have this stream here, it's called the favorite option, the favorites button. All right, so the favorites button is huge because if you're doing your own research and you're trying to come up with your own theory or your own hypothesis or even your own presentation, you're going to want to favorite cases. And you'll see that some of these cases are orange, right? And they're glowing. And so they're favorited. And I'll walk you through exactly how to do that. But if you want to see them quickly, you have a button right here that you can literally press, and it will toggle everything off except for the favorites. Let's try it. All right. So now you also have dotted lines that are attached to each case. And these kind of help you kind of, I guess, kind of look at the flow of it, how it all went, connects them all together, and allows, I think, for more visual appeal. Now, down here, it's happening too. Okay, it's happening as well. Battle of LA. Okay, now for whatever reason you connected these dots, right? Because these favorites are arbitrarily connected right now. There is no rhyme or reason for them. But you can turn them on and off. You can favorite and unfavorite things fairly easily. Now, how you do that is you just click and hold an event. Click, hold, now it's favorited. Now when I turn the toggle on, it's actually in there. You could turn it off too, right inside this. It's so easy. All right. It's just about quickness. It's just about speed. It's just about finding out information as fast as possible and then presenting it as fast as possible, as easy as possible. The case could be expanded and you can still click and hold and it will still highlight. It'll still favorite. Again, it could be in any form. It could be it could be a dot, it could be whatever. But now you're there, you're open. Okay, so favoriting cases is going to be the way to produce really great presentations on this, and that's the reason why as well we connected the dots on the globe. So on the globe you have these things happening too, and they just kind of help you do this, create connections. This looks a little haphazard. All the connection lines will always go in chronological order, so that's a thing. Also, real quick, the globe. It now, when you zoom in, it becomes less sensitive, so you can do more precise navigating on the globe without having to flip it all around really quick. And again, the more you zoom in, the less sensitive that movement becomes. I love that feature. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad we got it in. So yeah, this is the favorites. This is also a new button. These are controls down here, and what these do is these allow the user to quickly cycle to the next case. Now, I made these sensitive to whatever toggle is on, so that way, you can always go to the next case in your favorites, but it also works outside of favorites. So if you have all the cases up and you're at any given area, MK Ultra, big coincidence there, you can still go over in previous, and what it will do is it'll go to the very next case in the timeline. Like chronological order, next takes you to the next case. We're June 3rd, 1953, July 1st, 1954, August 16th, 1954. You see, like, it's taking you directly to the next case, and then you can go back too. And so this is a great way to navigate the timeline without having to manipulate the timeline. Right. So typically you would have grabbed it and dragged it over, right? You would have zoomed in, you would have done something else there, which can be fun, but also kind of a pain. So this way, if you're just trying to like make a point, or you're trying to like get your research on, and you want to go to the very next event that took place, at least as recorded and reflected in the timeline, you could do that very, very easily. And I love that. And it lets just like, we'll go by saucer. Now we'll go next, and you'll see that it stays within the toggle. It's going to the next saucer event, right? That's great. So it's whatever's being pulled up. And like if we search for, I'll turn this toggle off, and I'll search for crash. So here's crashes, again, as reflected by the timeline, and you can just go next, and it's going to go to the next one that's up. So it's effortless now, right? Getting to the next case, getting through a list of things you've isolated, it's effortless. You're in the mix, right? It's right there. And I think, yeah, the favorites is my go-to. Like that's the one to show, right? That one's pretty great. So we'll get these toggles out of here, and we'll delete the search field. That'll give us all of our cases back. So now there's no filters that are active. The UFO timeline. Would you look at that? Okay, so now we're back to our favorites. Great little pocket of information here. Now, this is kind of fun. This was inspired by, if you guys are familiar, I don't know how familiar you are with UFO Twitter, but UFO Shane, we got inspiration, the randomizer. So you can just click this, and it will randomly select a case. Just randomly lands on a case. And this is great, again, if you're just kind of bored and you're on the timeline and you don't know where to begin, you just have no idea. You have all these cases, you have 220 right in front of you, just hit the randomizer and just be like, well, what are we doing? What's a fun one? And this is great. Every time I've done this, I've landed on a case I know very little about, so I love it. So there we go. Okay, so we have these new controls in here. We have favorites, random, and then these controls that get us to the next event or the previous event. All quality of life improvements, and then again, press and hold to isolate a category, and press and hold to favorite a event. Press and hold to unfavorite the event. And again, the favorite button isolates your favorites here, making it quick and easy to do a lot of stuff. These are visuals you just can't get, or, I would want these to be in my UFO podcast, or so. I really would. It would be so fun to be like, oh, check this out. And then there was this one event. And then we get, that leads us to Colaris. And then that leads us to that's dope to me. So hopefully you guys out there love this. You guys enjoy it. You guys understand it. Hopefully it's not that complicated to use. And we're going to keep adding more things. Some stuff that's coming up pretty soon. We have, here's another thing. Drop down right there. If you're wondering if you wanted to donate to the website, you can do that right here. All right. If you wanted to drop a super chat into the comments, you can also do that, because your boy's YouTube account is finally monetized. Hell yes. Using the site is great support, but also, again, if you want to go there and find that donate button, become a Patreon member, whatever you want, it's all right there for you. Let me look at the chat. I see Ames in the mix. What's up? What's up? And we got Plasma Armuland. Okay. What is going on, guys? Good to have you here. Coin Exchange, what's up, man? What's up? Can't wait to the VR version of this. Can your boy get some time to breathe over here? Do you see what I've done? You want me to make a VR version? No, I'm playing. We will. We definitely will. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, follow that link. Become a Patreon member. Believe it or not, it's awesome to have Patreon support. It is amazing. We're getting new pages in the website too, pages for contributors, supporters, partners, affiliates, all that stuff is going to be in there. So if you want to become a partner in any way, shape, or form, please pop into Patreon, pop onto the donation, let us know what's going on. Let us know that you want to see this project kind of continue and get better. I feel that this has made huge improvements in just 30 days. That's how I feel. I could be biased about that, but like what this used to look like 30 days ago was insane compared to what it looks like today. And even now to have partners through Danny Jones' podcast and to be talking to other people about promotion, like I'm excited about this, and it's been made possible by people who've donated and people who've become Patreon members, believe it or not. So you guys out there who are already Patreon members and have already donated, like, for real, thank you, because these changes just don't happen. These improvements, they just don't happen. I just got the domain site, or the domain name again, like, locked in because of stuff like this. What we're coming up with next is like profiles for the site, so that people will be able to kind of track more than just their favorites. And then with profiles on the site, people will be able to submit cases. Right. So the ability to submit cases, we're doing more research, talking to more experiencers. I mean, we talked to Jeffrey Enagel on a Twitter space, and he gave us his story, and we were able to get his case put into the timeline in real time. And so now he can come here. He helped us with the summary, right? So we can come here and then flood this community area with more and more cases to make us, I guess, feel a little bit more seen and compare our data with other people's data. But again, these they might seem small, but they're coming in big batches, and there's only more updates coming. What do we got over here for Dorothy Izat? Dorothy Izat has 30,000 feet of film in the UFO world, but no videos here. We're going to get that filled out for us. I cannot believe this is the anniversary of Dorothy Izat's first sighting. I have a video explaining Dorothy Izat. This is going to be amazing to put in there. I'm going to favorite Dorothy Izat. Why wouldn't I? Right? Why wouldn't I have it favorited? A lot of Pacific Northwest action up here, right? Right? Okay, so this is the UFO timeline. This is the best UFO database that exists on the earth right now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's like nothing else. There's nothing else going on like this. So keep watching, keep supporting, keep asking questions, keep using the site. Those are really helping me make huge improvements to this thing. And hopefully it continues to be the best in the world. And I know that's saying quite a lot, but I'm not going to drag anybody else out there, any other organization that's been researching UFOs and UFO experiencers for more than 20 years. I'm not going to drag them, but I'm going to say that they dropped the ball at some point, and so this is the ball getting picked up. All right, this is the ball straight up getting airlifted out of the dirt, and then in here for us. The idea of the website is to contrast and compare easily large pieces of UFO data that have otherwise been kind of invisible to us. To find patterns, to recognize patterns is huge. I mean, look at this. There's already these weird kind of like explosions. Look at this. That's a lot of events to happen in just a short period of time. And that's something that I wouldn't have noticed. How do you notice this pattern unless you have all the data there? Look at this one. How do you notice this little cluster, unless you literally have it in front of you? It would be hard. It would be difficult to determine any of these clusters, any of these patterns. Look at these weird cascading lines. Like, wouldn't it be nearly impossible to find these, to identify these, to categorize them, to make them visible to the naked eye, to the random person? I think so. Look at this little guy. What's happening in 1954? Starts with Buck Nelson. Well, where does it go? Some other word I can't pronounce, from Madagascar. And we got this one. And the globe's changing. It's telling you, oh, look, okay, well, check this out. This is something that's interesting. There's this case, the Marius whatever Duildy in northern France. What happened here? It's a hover acceleration, instantaneous. Okay. That involved humanoid beings. All right. Go to the next one. Watch the globe. Watch the globe. Psh, that's not that far away. We're in Italy now. October 27th. What's the date difference? September 10th to October 27th. Okay. Florence Angel here. So this is one of those aspects of this website that allows you to like really kind of do things you never were doing before. Identify these little clusters. Figure out how they're connected, if they are connected. Maybe they're not. But how could you be able to tell that from any other database, with any other website? There's just not a way to do it. So Yeah, when I say that it's the best UFO database website on the earth, I think I'm being serious, but I could be joking. We need Tupa to get Christopher Mellon to pose with a monitor showing a picture of the UFO timeline. Oh, yeah, we really do. We absolutely do. That would be great. By the way, it's called the UFO timeline. Is it called the UFO timeline or just UFO timeline? Listen, this is the UFO timeline. The UFO time. There are, because there are others. There's at least 3 or 4 more other timelines that I know about. But this is the only one that's this complete, that allows you to do a lot of stuff all at once. So I call this one the UFO timeline to separate it. The is the most important part. What patterns have emerged from this work so far? Have you leveraged AI to help detect interesting insights and patterns? No, I haven't. I haven't leveraged AI just yet to do that. The goal of the project was always to give the human, the eye, right, the most amount of power in the UFO field that it's ever had by identifying visual patterns when the data was laid out like this. But I absolutely will be implementing AI to help recognize and find patterns. But this is all about, right, baby steps. This project, while it looks fairly complete, is still growing. It's still in a very infant stage. All right. There's a lot more things that I have envisioned for this website, a lot more things. And in order to make sure that those things come in order and that I can handle them once they do come, this is all about infrastructure, building up the infrastructure so that this website can handle 2,000 cases, 3,000 cases or more. There's a lot of reports. There's a lot of other databases that don't have any user interface, so they might want to use this one. So the idea is to build it up and make it be very robust so that when I start to throw in hundreds of cases at a time, it's being organized and it's not, causing, what do I want to say, hiccups, right? So, yeah, this is the way. This is the way to do it. SEO can help with that once it's on point. Yeah, yeah. We're doing the SEO right now, actually. So you guys, hopefully this becomes easier to find in the future. And we have a lot of very interesting ideas for that. But you guys are totally right. But again, guys, this website was launched. Was announced in August, and then the landing page went up in September, and then the site launched October 25th or something. Yeah, we are cruising. But the SEO stuff, it's me doing the coding. It's just, I don't have a team behind me. I have a Heather Birdie, which is a crazy secret weapon to have. But we're taking it step by step. SEO is definitely next. I want everybody to be able to find this site now. I believe right now this thing is ready to go in terms of being seen by a lot of people. Again, baby steps for what it's going to be able to do, but it's getting there. If you guys know somebody who does UFO research or does, presentations, send them the website. It's totally free to go on and then create favorites and start using all these toggles and stuff. It's absolutely free. Just go check it out. All right. I mean, it's free for now. The website's once I get the ability to have profiles and stuff, there might be more features available for people, but I want the overall idea to always be free and always be able to do exactly what I'm showing you guys here right now. Pop on, look at all the UFO history, decide wow, I want to start looking into this. What is this case? Or hit a randomizer button, or just keep going and then look at the globe. Maybe you want to explore from your local area. So you go over here and you're like, all right, what's this? Kenneth Arnold, that's cool. Or maybe your local area is Midwest, you're like, okay, what's going on over here? You should be able to do it. Carrington event, we'll say, thinking of all the examples to throw out. But yeah, all of it's here now. All of it's ready to be used, ready to be explored, examined, clicked on, all of that. It's just here, ready to be utilized for any presentation or anytime you want to show your friend that UFOs are legit. Anytime you're lost and you want to find a case, you could search for it, open up the event list. You know of a case you heard of that has certain attributes to it, right? Maybe the case you heard of was from the 80s and someone got hurt. right? So you can just go in here and look through the 80s and be like, what cases do we have? Do any of these match? Do any of these work? I mean, is it Cash Landrum? Here's a little hot tip. It's always Cash Landrum. The ease of use is just crazy right now compared to where it was. So again, I want to say thank you for helping me bring this project to life and to this point in the production of it. It's been awesome. Hopefully we get our SEO figured out. But in the meantime, you guys watching, you guys are my community. Like, if you guys want to help get this word out and get more eyes on the project, help me make better improvements, help more people see it and spread it around, please do it. I mean, that's the biggest help we could have right now at this point. You could also support through becoming a Patreon member or whatever. But yeah, like, just telling people, it's kind of like it's the bee's knees right now. So again, this is the website. This is the UFO timeline. This is what makes it special. This is why it should be watched and why you should be watching the progression of this. If not, always following me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, all that stuff. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been me telling you guys about my brand new website. Please go tell your friends, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.